Good morning, people. Good morning. Yes, this is Spirit Journey. Good morning. Today is Thursday, January 21, 2021, and the time is approximately 4:40 a.m. in the morning. Yes, I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and as you see, the beautiful Manhattan, New York City skyline, which is always very, very comforting to me. This is always a special time for me. Yeah, those of you who will be watching this video, the thumbnail I chose, I've had used it before. I took a picture a couple of weeks ago. I was at the Ramble and I saw this giant bird. I was told it was the red-tailed hawk. Yeah, it's indigenous to this region of the world. And as you see, the bird is sitting all by itself on a tree. There's no leaves, it's very bare, and it looks very lonely. And I chose it because that's how I feel. I feel like a little bird all by myself. So that's why I chose the thumbnail for this video, this live stream. Um, and it may kind of be all over the place. And I entitled this video, uh, My Life as an Empath in uh, this sorrowful world. Yeah, I think I am an empath. I just think back, way back. I mean, it's a new term for me, empath. You know, they have books about empaths. It's more of a spiritual terminology when it's used like that someone's an empath. It would explain a lot of things. I feel like an observer that somehow I got on this planet and I'm just experiencing what I'm experiencing. I feel like a newbie here. And I think that's what I am. I wonder. Do any of you know? So, yes, good morning. Good morning, viewer. Good morning. Welcome. Thank you for coming to the uh, live stream. Yeah, this live stream will be a little different in the sense that what I really want to talk about, I want to talk about me. And interesting that I was lying in bed for the past maybe 20 minutes, and my thoughts were running through my head. I felt very anxious last night when I went to bed. Very anxious because of um, this current environment, social environment, and as you know, yesterday in America was inauguration day, and we have a new president and vice president, and I felt a lot of anxiety. And then the anxiety was compounded when 6 hours after doing my live stream covering the inauguration, I got a notification from YouTube that my channel, I mean, not my channel, that the live stream that I did was pulled down due to copyright infringement. And yes, I did do a brief video sharing that information. And hopefully they reconsider and put it up. And it was just a, now the video, the live stream I did was over 5 hours long. And they're questioning the moment when he was sworn in, when Biden was sworn in. And I said, isn't that something? Not even not even a day. It was just roughly 3 hours. I'm sorry, 6 hours after the live stream, after um, that I uploaded it. Yeah, it was around maybe, oh, what time was it? I think it was around maybe 6 o'clock when I got the notification. And I think I ended it around, what was that, 1:30? Something like that. But yeah, it was a small segment. The segment that they said that it's a copyright infringement was maybe 6 minutes long. So out of close to 6 hour live view, they're contesting maybe 6 minutes of the the live stream, and it's basically all by the same person who C-SPAN. The live footage that I took at the from for the inauguration yesterday was. I hope you guys can hear me too. Yeah, let me know if you can hear me. Yeah. Sometimes let me see if the speaker, okay, I'm going to put the speaker on louder. Okay. So, yes, let me know if the speaker is on, that you can hear me. So you can press a 1 for yes if you could hear clearly. I just increased the volume just in case, because I noticed that some people dropped off. So maybe because they couldn't hear me. So, anyway, um, yeah, so it really added static to my emotions. And I felt like another attack, that this was an attack on me, I felt. And I want to address this. And I want to address this as it pertains to other things. And interesting, so with that in mind, I then decided, hey, let's do a live stream right now, this very second. So I reached for my phone, turned it on, and as I turned it on, I got a message, and a message that was just then at that moment. And it was a person that I know, a very good person. And they shared with me a photo of the president and vice president hugging each other, and oh wow, and the ghost of four people, famous people in history, was watching over them. I mean, it was beautifully done. It looked like a watercolor. And the person shared it with me, um, I assume for certain reasons. Well, for one, I'm a person of color, and Kamala Harris is a person of color also. And she's a female. And so I think the person um, thought that I would like that, and thought that I would like it because of those reasons. So it's a assumption, of certain things. I never shared with this person my political views or anything like that, but I knew what the person felt about the prior administration, and I kept quiet about it. And I feel that, a person is entitled to their feelings, and I didn't want it to be a wedge between us. For me, again, politics, is a personal thing, and you're entitled to how you feel. That's all. I've never been into politics, but as I shared yesterday, um, that the past 4 years, I've been watching the administration, the presidential administration, for all this time. So it's really ironic that I turned on my phone a moment ago at the moment when my friend sent me that photo, I mean the painting of Biden and Harris hugging each other, and the four famous people in history, American history, were watching over them from because they had passed away. I want to explain myself. My intention of doing this live stream is, as you read in the, hopefully you read the description. Um, I'm a person who wants to understand people, who wants to love people. I always wanted to somehow connect. Again, I think I am an empath. I almost feel like I'm from another world, and somehow I got on this planet, and I feel like it's the first time I've ever been here. And so my perspective is like a stranger who needs to connect. And I know it sounds weird, and uh, another person just left the view. But that's okay. That is okay. I know it sounds weird, but let me explain myself, because see, I know that I'm not the only one who feels this way. And so that's why I share it. And I want to try to, through my experiences, not to create a wedge, but to express what the separation has, how it makes me feel. So where do we begin? Oh, also, moreover, as I explained in the description page of this live stream, um, after I was watching the inauguration yesterday, um, I found I just so happened to find a video. It was referred to me. Uh, an individual who learns foreign languages. Yes, this individual learns foreign languages of from places that are so different than what he is. And in his videos, he says, "I'm the that white guy speaking such and such language." So his shtick is being the nerdy white fellow, the white American, who can speak Chinese. Yes, he could speak Mandarin Chinese, Cantonese Chinese, and this other Chinese dialect. Moreover, he prides himself, and rightly so. I was very impressed. He could study a language for 24 hours and then uh, have a basic conversation with that national. So he showed this other video he studied Korean for 24 hours, and he went to uh, a place in New York City that has a lot of businesses from people from Korea. And he spoke some Korean. It was very exciting to watch. And so it lifted up my spirits after watching the inauguration. And it made me feel hopeful, like, wow, isn't that exciting? That you can speak a foreign language. And I saw how it seemed to open up doors for him. The curiosity, of course, seeing a nerdy white American, young guy, he looked like he was in his mid 20s. He also traveled to Mexico to this Mayan community. Of course, they speak Spanish in Mexico, but you know there are indigenous people there that speak the native dialect of that region, the pre um, pre-Hispanic history of Mexico. Yeah. And he had an opportunity to learn. And so he learned ancient Mayan language, just a basic conversational. And he went there and he started speaking it to the indigenous people. And of course, they were very flattered and want to know, how did this white dude learn our ancient language? And so his YouTube channel has over 3 million subscribers. And the videos that he made, some of them I think had over 34 million views. So my finding his channel fascinating, or his videos fascinating, I'm not the only one. Because we all are probably experiencing the same thing of, wow, this guy could speak that language? Because, see, when you learn a foreign language, you're getting into the head of that language, the psyche of that language. And that meant you took time to study it and to be around them long enough to learn it. So I think that is why, people are more willing to um, associate, converse with you and maybe do nice things for you. Yeah, one of these people in Chinatown gave him some free samples because they were so ecstatic that you know he come all the way to Chinatown from one of the outer boroughs in New York City to come there and buy things in Chinatown. It was amazing. It made me feel excited. And also, I was excited watching the video because it reminded me of a movie that um, I think exactly a year ago this month, I saw for the first time. The movie Limitless. Yes, the movie Limitless I saw in 2020 in January. And it was the very end of the movie. Well, first of all, the movie Limitless features this nerdy white guy. He was a writer, and he had writer's block, and he was down and out. His girlfriend left him, and he meets up with this his former brother-in-law in the street, and uh, they start talking, and the guy said, "Hey, I think I could help you out with your writing. Try this tablet, and it'll help you." Well, he does, and it changed his life. And at the very end of the movie, he and his now, his girlfriend, they come back together because she had left him, and now they're back together, and they're in an Asian restaurant, and I think it was a Chinese restaurant. Yes, it was a Chinese restaurant, and the waiter approaches, and he initiates uh, the language, and it turned out to be Mandarin because I found a person. I got called up a language school, and I asked them, "What language is this?" And they said it's Mandarin. And so again, a white guy, white American guy, speaking fluent Mandarin to a native speaker. And then the movie ends. And it fascinated me so much. Yes, hello, viewer. Good morning, good morning. Please hello in the chat room, and press the like button if you wish. I thank you. So, when I saw that movie, Limitless, and then seeing that channel yesterday after the inauguration of that person speaking many languages, it just excited me, and it gave me a sense of hope. And so I wake up this morning with many racing thoughts. Yeah, I went to bed with, I think I was overloaded yesterday. I mean, I did two live streams yesterday, one over 3 hours long, another over 5 hours long. I think I got burnt out. And sometimes when you get stressed, of the day, um, and when you try to go to sleep, the energy, the excess energy has to escape somewhere, and sometimes it escapes in the form of anxiety. I used to get anxiety and panic attacks. Yes. Um, so I think that's what happened. So with that info, I know, wow, this is taking 23 hours to explain, to do the introduction. But yes, I feel the introduction is necessary to really explain myself. And it's going to be a little hard for me to do this live stream, a little embarrassing. Um, but I share this because I want to bring understanding, and I want to overcome. Again, I think I'm an empath. I'm a very, very sensitive person, I see. And you think getting older that you'll be less sensitive to criticism, but I see I'm the same little girl growing up. That same little child. That's how I feel in my heart. My heart is of a child. And so it is what it is. Let me explain myself. Uh, this empathic life and the feeling of rejection. Have any of you ever felt rejected? That's how I feel. And I'm that little girl. I was a shy little girl growing up. Any of you out there were ever shy, timid, misunderstood, have been always the oddball? Have any of you ever experienced that feeling like an oddball? Or are you the black sheep of the family? Or even the white sheep of the family? Any of you? Any of you have experienced that? Well, that's how I feel. And I think this um, feeling of rejection started manifesting again yesterday while I was recording the live stream. And I know some of you may be offended, but see, I share this because I want to be honest, and I want to overcome. I want to overcome any biases I have because I don't want it to take root. And the biasness or insecurity is based on being rejected. Okay, so I say it up front. I say it up front. And let me explain what happened while I was watching the inauguration. Now, Jennifer Lopez, she is a an actress singer. She's been around for a while, and yeah, she's a pretty good actress. And she was invited to sing at the inauguration. And towards the end of the her singing, before she left the stage, she had spoken in a foreign language. It was Spanish, I believe. Yeah, she is of Puerto Rican ancestry. She is from New York City, where I'm from. She was I believe she was born and raised in the Bronx, New York City. I was born and raised in Queens, New York City. And I I'm being honest, I was, I was taken back because I didn't expect it. She speaks English fluently. She's been in American movies speaking English. So I didn't understand why she ended like she was speaking in English and then she switched to Spanish. And I don't speak Spanish. I did take some lessons in Spanish. Now I'm all for people to learn different languages. As I expressed in this live stream about the how fascinated I was, and many other people were fascinated with this white guy who can speak Chinese, who can speak Korean, who can speak ancient Mayan language, who can also speak a native African language too, Wolof. Yeah. And so I'm all for that ability to be multilingual. I had even lived in an area where um, people spoke different language. Yeah, twice. One time I lived in a community where they spoke Spanish, and another time I lived in an area where they spoke Russian. And I was always fascinated with being around foreign nationals, people who are from other parts of the world. For me, the world was something that I wanted to learn more about. And so, why would I feel taken back by Jennifer Lopez speaking Spanish at the United States inauguration? I think this is it, people. Uh, Expectancy that it was an American event and everyone there is speaking English, and the fact that she speaks English. So I didn't understand why she injected a little phrase in Spanish. Um, I'm sure if I understood what she said, I don't think I would have reacted and felt the way I did. Now, again, I don't have anything really against Jennifer Lopez. I think I've seen her movies, and she's a great actress. But what I was experienced was a wedge, a perceived wedge of us and them experience, and us and them that I had experienced in the past, and us and them that sometimes you may be in a crowd of people and they know you may not know a particular language. And so when you arrive near them, they'll switch their language as a way of snubbing you, as a way of creating that wedge of exclusion, and as a sign of dominance over you. Have you ever experienced that, people? Now, one thing someone, let's say they're saying something of a very, very personal matter, you even have parents and children, and let's say the parents are from a particular country, and then they move to another country, and the children speak the language of the new country. And when the parents don't want the kids to hear what they say because maybe it's something personal, they'll speak in that other language. So, in things like that, it's not about they want to create a wedge per se, the parent, but, maybe it was something personal and, adult matter. And so they didn't want the child to know what they're saying. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when everybody is on the same playing field, you're the same status, the same entry level, you're the same. But it's interjected to make a point against that person. Then languages can be used as a weapon against the other person. And so I think that's what I was feeling yesterday when Jennifer Lopez, um, she sings in English, she has a beautiful voice, and she says something, and then she interjects, something in Spanish. And I felt she was, again, I don't know what's in her head. I don't know what she was thinking. And if anybody knows what she said and could translate and write down, write in the chat room, what she said. So the only people who would know what she said would be another person who could speak Spanish. And so, what did she say, and why did she need to communicate to an event that is taking place in the United States of America that speaks that speaks English, and interject? It made me feel that wedge of separation being put upon me. It made me feel left out. It made me feel hurt and angry. Now, again, I'm all for different languages. Uh, but I think growing up in New York City, that my being this empath, um, it got cultivated. And I got triggered yesterday when this happened with Jennifer Lopez. I'm being real, folks. I'm not here to promote hate, but to explain what an empath, someone who wants to connect with humanity. And when you feel that when you want to enter a relationship with a person on a social level, I like to enter with my heart. And so my heart, you know, feels like this thing with my heart started in 2011, the end of 2011. I know I'm a little bit all over the place, but I really hope you can understand. Because these things that I'm mentioning are multifaceted. You have a diamond, but it's multifaceted, and so I have to explain from different angles of the facet, but I'm still explaining that diamond. Okay, so Yeah, in 2011, I it was November of 2011, and I experienced for the first time a panic and an anxiety attack. When something like that happens to you, you think you're actually having a heart attack. I'm a very healthy person. I'm very health conscious with my diet, but all of a sudden, that happened to me. An anxiety slash panic attack happened. And it grows in the center of the chest. And that's what I was starting to feel yesterday. So it's the same sensation that I'm feeling. And so, what's going on? There is something, my heart is communicating. My heart is communicating on a spiritual level. It is responding to an energy or a perceived energy called rejection, called separation. And where does this deep pain come from? It goes far beyond Jennifer Lopez speaking at inauguration. I used to watch foreign films, even in the Spanish language. I used to get watch videos in foreign languages because I find languages, the sound of languages exciting. Whether it be Spanish, Portuguese, French, and even Asian languages. I just find it fascinating. But something is being triggered. And I think part of that trigger is that, yes, I live in New York City. And New York City has virtually every ethnic group and every language imaginable. And being an empath and walking in different societies in New York Cities, I experienced different things. Not only in New York City, but also in Hawaii, where I used to live, and in St. Thomas, where I used to live. St. Thomas is in the U.S. Virgin Islands, in the Caribbean. And there's something about me that triggers other people to treat me a certain way. And I don't understand it as an empath. See, I'm very curious about people and always want to connect with people. Again, I'm the individual who feels like I'm from another planet, and I just want to say hello and connect. And I'm trying to figure out that little girl inside of me, that little broken heart in me, is trying to figure out, even as an adult, why I am experiencing and being treated the way I am. So in New York City, um, I had gone to a language school before. Yes, in 2011 also, I had gone to a language school to learn Spanish to help my chances in finding employment. And the person, my teacher, she was from Colombia originally. She worked, at least worked for the company for 20 years in New York City. And she was a black lady from Colombia. And I was very excited when I was introduced to her because she was a black lady. And I went to a school. I was usually the only, black American in school. I mean, we had some black people, but they were from other countries. And yeah, I was always felt like the oddball. The classroom in school, college, was Orthodox Jews, um, Asian Muslims, and West Indians. Very, no American blacks. And so being the only one, um, so um, so when I went to a language school to learn Spanish, to learn about oh, to help my chances getting a job. I'm sorry, I got a little distracted there. Yeah, to help my chances getting a job, because in school, um, my teacher had shared a story that um, the jobs you have to be bilingual. And so she had gone to look for this job, this person, and she was told, you don't speak Spanish. We want someone bilingual. So she took a crash course in Spanish and then reapplied. And, she got the job. And she spoke fluent Spanish, or fluent enough to get that job. And so I said to myself, I'm going to do the same thing. So it was an expectancy when I started the language, started the foreign language, and I had an expectancy that this person would be a good person for me because they were a black woman, a black Latina. But that wasn't the case, and her true colors came out. The person, okay, let me explain this. We were given a schedule, both of us. I was given a schedule, and she was given, the teacher, language teacher, was given a schedule. But the person that gave the schedule gave us both different schedules. You got that? They got one time frame, and I got a different one. And so um, when I came to, it turns out that uh, because I didn't show up, she she was wondering where I was, and I missed several lessons, according to her. But I'm coming in, and I said no today. When I did finally come in, because I was following the schedule that I was given. Neither of us knew that we were given two different schedules, and so the day that I was told to come in, I came in, and I came in early. I had her a few times before the new schedule. I forgot to say that. Yeah, we had a few lessons together, and everything was fine. I was so excited. And then they gave us a new schedule, and each of us didn't know that we were given two different schedules for the New Year's. Yeah, it was the same time in 2011. In January, because there was a vacation, the school closed for the holidays, and then it resumed in January, early January. And so when I came in, then eventually she came in early that day, and she was looking, when she came in, walked in the room, she looked angry, and then she looked surprised to see me, and then she starts yelling at me. And again, this school you have to pay for, and I paid over $2,000 paying her over $2,000 for my private lessons. And it turned, we both discovered, like she said, where were you? You didn't come in for your lessons, blah, 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 blah. So I said, well, this is the first day back from the holidays. Today's my first day since the last time we saw each other. I said, no, you missed such and such day, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, that's not on my schedule. And so we both had to go to the office. But let me tell you why I mention it. See, this lady, now she's in this country for many, many years. And I was given her as an instructor by a black man, black American who worked there, who interviewed me and said, yeah, we have the perfect instructor for you, and he gave like this gesture, like, yes, we black people, we stick together, and I'm gonna hook you up with a black instructor, and you're in good hands. This is all things he said. So I was very excited because, hey, I wanted to connect with other black people. Again, I went to a school where I was one of the few blacks in my program. And I wanted to connect with the black community to serve my community. Okay? Yeah, so everything was about serving and belonging to the black community, regardless of what language you speak. And so when I saw the Spanish speaking instructor who is of black heritage from Colombia, I was ecstatic. So here I can learn Spanish from a black person and, hey, maybe make a new friend. And I'll be able to help my community. So when the lady, the instructor, uh, saw that I wasn't, had so thought, she thought I missed several classes, she didn't care. She didn't care that I didn't show up. Shouldn't she, as an instructor, call me? Hey, we had a lesson today. I know, the holidays are over. Hey, is everything okay? Did you get sick over the holidays? What's wrong? Nothing. But instead, she had contempt for me. She said, in fact, you did that on purpose. You didn't show up on purpose. And she's yelling at me. I said, what are you talking about? I'm given this schedule. And evidently, you're given a different schedule. And we went to the office and we saw that she had a different schedule. So rather than her, see, this is where the expectancy and the hurt that I was feeling in my heart, the rejection and the wedge. See, if I had a student that didn't show up, you call them. She's my private instructor. I paid several $1,000s cash to the school to have private lessons, not semi-private, but private lessons with this one person. And uh, we already had several sessions. And then the session started in December, early December, and it lasted for a couple of weeks. And then, Christmas and New Year's, we were off. And so it resumed in January. But we were given two different schedules by accident by the manager of the school. And the manager of the school was a French lady. And rather than her, the language school teacher, the black lady from Colombia, rather than her reaching out to me, another black woman, she yells at me. She was about to walk out of the room. She thought, oh, this lady doesn't want to come to school anymore, and I'm just going to pop in and pop out. And, she didn't report that I wasn't there. She pocketed the money. I'm telling you what happened. Those times when she thought I was to come in, she just popped in, popped out, and went home. So she was going to do the same number when that day I did show up because I thought that was the day, that was the schedule I was given. And so she looks at me like, what are you doing here? Type of look. And then she starts yelling at me. There's no love in their heart. There was no love in her heart, And I was hurt because here I'm paying her good money. She's getting employed in my country, and I want to learn her language, Spanish. And rather than her, and instead of her calling me, hey, student, and she also called me her amiga, that means friend. She wasn't being friendly. She was contemptuous towards me, and she didn't care. And she was just going to walk out, pretend that she had a session, and leave. And I was hurt. And I wrote a letter to the management of that school. This was the Berlitz School in New York City. They have several locations, but it was the one around near Midtown Manhattan. And I was so disappointed. So I wrote an email. That's what I sent an email to the school, to the management, and explained to them what happened and that I want to quit the school. And I brought a family member with me because I was angry. And I saw the person that recruited me in the school, and he was scared crap when he saw my brother. He was shaking. My brother was very big. And they were all like scared. And I said, what that lady did was horrible. Yeah, also, I have to add, they kept on switching teachers on me. And see, because the first teacher was that black lady from Columbia. And it was fabulous, fabulous. And then the third lesson, it was another lady. But see, I'm a very, um, you know, when I love strong. And, it's, you don't want to break that relationship. I didn't want to break that relationship. I said, you know, I want the same teacher. I don't want different teachers. I want the same teacher to teach me. And they said, well, we're from the same country. I said, yeah, but I grown accustomed to her, and I really felt comfortable with her. And I thought I would just have her. Because again, they played it, the school played it as my being paired with a black person because I'm a black person. And that sisterhood, and the recruiter was a black man. And I wanted that connection. I wanted that bond that I wasn't able to get from the college I went to, where that didn't have a lot of black people. I had gone there for 6 years, and it was an awful experience being in that environment. So here I was learning, going to a new, a language school, being set up to be have a black teacher. And growing up in public school, they didn't really have black teachers. It was always white. So it was a really nice novelty to have a black teacher, being from New York City. And so I said, I'm very disappointed, and that the instructor was going to walk out and was hoping that I wouldn't be there. Why didn't she call me? She didn't love me. What she loved was her money and herself, and she didn't see me as her own. She didn't see me as a that she was black and I was black. She saw herself as different from me, as she as a Colombian, and I'm just the nasty American who didn't show up for class. That's what bothered me. That's what hurt me. And it put a wedge in me. It felt like a knife in my chest. Do any of you understand where I'm coming from? Any of you, do you understand? Please type a 1 for yes if you understand where I'm getting at. That you're a black person living around people who don't look like you, who don't talk like you, and then you're promised that connection, that sisterhood, that black sisterhood, and that when I didn't show up because we're given two different schedules by a mistake, At least I hope it was by mistake. The French lady had made our video, did our schedule. They could have done it to get at the lady, the Colombian lady. It could have been jealousy. Who knows? But either way, it interfered with my learning a foreign language. And the disappointment, because I saw that I wasn't her friend. She used to say, "You're my friend, you're my friend," in Spanish when we had uh, the sessions. Again, we had several sessions, and I thought, wow, this is fun. And when I didn't show up, she didn't reach out to me. Why didn't she reach out to me? And find out, hey, are you still alive? Are you okay? Are you sick? Hey, let me come and get you. Oh, anything. There was no compassion in her, just hatred. Do you understand what I'm coming from? Where I'm coming from, people. And so my life, so that was the latest thing that happened to me that really hurt me when I wanted to connect. I wanted to learn the language so that I could, hey, hi, Camp. Yeah. Yeah, I hope you understand where I'm coming from, people out there. I really hope you understand the depth of what I'm saying. I felt betrayed. I felt betrayed by her. I felt betrayed by the false veneer that because the person was a black person, a black Colombian lady, that she would still be my friend. But she didn't see me as a friend. She didn't care if I were hurt, if I were dead. I was just money for her. And when she saw that I didn't show up for class, she became contemptuous and angry and did not even notify the school. Hey, you need to call the client. They didn't show up. We need to reschedule. Nothing. I paid over $2,000 to have private lessons with this woman, and there was no love. No love. I was looking for love. I thought by learning a foreign language to help me find a job in New York City at that time and to have fun and to meet other black people regardless of their language. And she didn't care. So that was a knife in my chest. And I told the school, I said, I had enough of you guys, and I didn't like how you handled how she handled the situation, the instructor and the manager who gave the wrong schedule. I no longer want to be affiliated with this school. So, yes, they did give me the remaining money back, but I did have to pay for the book that I used, and I left. So that's what happened then. Um, so this is in New York City. My early, I would say, rejection that I experienced that put this feeling in my chest. I used to, yeah, see, growing up in New York City, see, again, I think I'm an empath. I feel like a person from another planet. I've always felt like an outsider, even within my own family. I come from a very large family. I'm one of 7 children and the youngest. And I feel like I'm living in a vacuum. Do you understand, people, where I'm coming from? You ever feel like you're living in a vacuum and somehow you just don't fit in? Well, even though I have my upbringing is really like I think like everybody's, but how I feel inside, I feel like a stranger. And, I went to an all black elementary school. I lived in a black neighborhood. Um, but still feeling like I just didn't fit in. Yeah, my background is Caribbean, and many people in that school were American, but we did have people who were Caribbean also. But things, you know, but back then I didn't know about ethnicity and things like that. People were just people. I didn't know about racism, things like that yet. Um, but let's see. I started meeting different types of people. I mean, in a major way in junior high school. Um, and that's what, yeah. But by the time I got to junior high school, I was meeting Asians, West Indians, African Americans, whites, European whites, people from born in Europe. I mean, it was a lot of different types of people. Uh, and I was friends with them. It was open. But I have to be honest, some of the American blacks did not like me. I mean, and um, back then, in the 1970s, Black America was under fire, had been under fire and was still, sensitive because of the civil rights movement and all that. And so I looked a little different than some of the American blacks. I didn't really, since I don't come from the South, I don't have that Southern accent, you know. So I was a little bit of an oddball. And again, I was an empath, and these were aggressive. Some of the people that were extremely aggressive and were primarily the violent ones in the school. And so I'm not a violent person, I was extremely shy back then. And, so anybody who wanted to be my friend, I was their friend. So my friends were people from all these other groups. But but things change once you graduate. High school was the same thing. Very diverse, and I was friends with everybody. It gave me a false sense of security. And by the time now, when you have to get a job, see, that's when things really change. When you're going to be dating and when you're getting a job, people's true colors come out, and reality really starts to manifest more and more. And I didn't understand what was happening in my life. I was learning diversity and that you weren't a member. It was an us and them, but more that they saw me as the outsider. And I was that little puppy that just wanted to get along to get along. I was that little puppy looking for love in all the in all the all these different places and just trying to figure out who I am. Yeah, some families they don't really discuss about race or religion or nationality. I wasn't really exposed to that, and I really didn't know who I was ethnically. I knew I was a black person, a so-called black person, you know. But other than that, I didn't know my heritage or who I was. I was this new person on the planet, so to speak. I was that empath who was learning about people who I didn't know. And I was very eager to try to find out and make my way in life. And so I got this private job, a job in the private sector, I should say, in the early 80s. Yeah, I first started out with working for the city for 2 years, and then I went away for school for one semester, and then I came back to New York City, and I had to start all over again and look for a job. Couldn't get my old job back, but I found a job in the private sector for a major bank, major American bank. And I met different types of people. Yes. And I met a Haitian lady. She was a very light skinned Haitian lady. And she had her hair done very nice. You know, I'm a natural lady. I'm a natural girl. And I wear my natural hair, you know. And and I was fascinated, she being a black person also, how she got her hair straight like that. You know, in hindsight now, the Haitian people and the Dominican Republic, they do hair the same way, what they call the Dominican, the Dominican method. They relax your hair, they put your hair in these big rollers, metallic rollers, and then they blow out the hair after it's dried. And you can get a straighter, natural, more so-called natural straight look. And so I was fascinated how she was able to get her hair like that. She said, "Oh, you should go to my hairdresser." And she told me where it was, and I started going. Now, I'm not Haitian, and I'm a Anglophone. I only spoke English, and I'm just let's see. By this time, I might have been 21. Yeah, I was about 21, 22 years of age. And I'm a natural girl. I wear my natural hair. I wasn't into, all that girly stuff. But um, I wanted to get my hair done. It looked like fun. And I wanted to meet people. And I was fascinated with new cultures. And again, I'm trying to explore who I am through these people because I'm an empath. And I like to connect to people on a heart level. And so I started going there. Um, and sometimes I'm the first one there. And you know what happened one time? Now, now I was going there for a couple of years, and I went every week or every other week. I even brought people there. Now I brought people there not because I wanted a freebie. I never got a freebie from them, but I was eager because they did hear so well, you know. And my so-called two friends back then, they wanted to know where I got it done too. And so they came and came with me, you know. And so it didn't matter that I brought business to them. It didn't matter that I was a customer, a loyal customer at that. And it didn't matter that I tried to learn a little, I shared with them my background that, on my mother's side, they speak French, but, I spoke English. They didn't care. What they cared was that what I wasn't Haitian. So I'm not one of them. And one time, what I was the first one there, but I was the last one out. They weren't doing my hair. They like I was just like it was washed, and it was in the you go in the under the dryer, and they wouldn't uh s- do my bring me in to get my hair done, and I was there for 7 hours. I said, "Hey, wait a minute, how come you all not doing my hair?" And so I told her, "Hey, oh, so and so, I was the first one here. How come you're not doing my hair?" Then she says something in her language, and it turns out, I'm sorry. And then she finally does my hair. Now, what happened there? Well, what it looks like what happened was that Or are you still there? The screen went black. Okay. The screen just went dark. Let me see. Yeah, I have to put the plug in. Okay. The screen just went black, people. Could you still hear me? I hope you guys could still hear me. Let me know, people, if you could still hear me. Um, the screen just went black, and I just want to make sure you guys could at least still hear me. I have to take the battery's running low, and so I'm going to put the plug in to charge it up while I. Okay, I just took the plug out and the mic out, so I hope you can still hear me. Let me know if you can still hear me. Hope you guys could still hear me. Please press a 1 for yes if you can still hear me. Could you guys still hear me? Please press a 1 for yes, you can still hear me, or hear me enough. Okay, now I gotta plug it in. Oops. Gotta put it in. Okay, I just put the plug in. Okay. So, guys, I hope you can still hear me. Yeah, the screen just went black. I can't stand when that happens. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Camp. I see your one. Great. So I'm gonna talk. I'm sorry the screen just turned black. It does that, but I'm glad you can still hear me. So yes, I'm talking as the empath. I think I'm an empath. I'm like a visitor from another world, so to speak, a spiritual world. And I'm experiencing these things. So again, back to that um, that hair place, the hair salon. So I they didn't do my hair because I wasn't one of them, and they saw me as an outsider. So they started treating me with contempt. Now we were all black, right? We're all black. We're in different complexions, and why this behavior? And I mean, it started out subtle. I felt like when they didn't do me right away, when they didn't do, blow dry my hair right away, and the person went in front of me, I just let it pass. But then it kept on happening. I say, wait a minute, what's going on? See, I realize now that even though I was a customer, a loyal customer, and even though I paid them, I was still considered an outsider. I wasn't from their island. I wasn't their people, but I thought we were one. I was eager to learn about the culture. So the same thing. So there's an expectation that I'm having, that I'm developing, that I had developed, I should say, of reaching out and want to engage in um, connecting. See, we're human, but see, they saw me as a stranger, as an alien. Maybe, though, just maybe, if I learned their language. People, what do you think? Do you think if in fact, they thought I was a different nationality. They thought I was a Jamaican, even though I told them where my mother's people is from, and it wasn't Jamaica. See, people see what they want to see, even though you tell them. Even though they tell you, people see and hear what they want to see and hear. So their behavior towards me had nothing to do with my um, not being social because I was reaching out. And another time in New York City, many years later, this was maybe 8 years ago, 8 9 years ago. Um, I wanted to go. See, to get here like mine done, I have to go out of my neighborhood. I have to take a train all the way uptown or go to Brooklyn to get my hair done if I'm to get it done. So I said, I'm gonna go uptown, way uptown. Um, yeah, I wanted to go visit where my father was born. My father was born in Manhattan, like my mother. Um, but he was raised in a house, I mean, in an apartment on 155th Street. And so I went in that neighborhood just to look around. And that area now has a lot of people from the Dominican Republic. And so after visiting the old neighborhood, I went to get my hair done. I said, yeah, the people here know black people here. And I wanted to get it highlight, the little streaks in the hair. I'm fascinated with certain color hair. I don't know why, but I had this fascination with hair with red undertones in it. It's just a fetish that I have. I don't know. But I did have a vision that I was next to a man that had red hair. I don't know. Maybe it was me in a parallel life. I don't know. But anyway, I know that sounds crazy. But yes, I had a vision, and this white man with red hair. Who knows who he was? Was he me in another parallel life or past life? Who knows? But anyway, I was to get my hair highlighted, and I said, "Hey, let me go get it done here." So I gave her a sample. I had a wig, and I said I wanted to look like this wig, the hair color pattern on it. And she just spoke Spanish, but she had her daughter. Her daughter, now this was a very black skinned Dominican woman, but her daughter, it turns out, when I came into the salon, it was just like a two booth salon. It's one of those real small, dinky places, you know, people just starting out, they rent a seat and, they do business. So it was just two chairs. Um, and the girl, oh, she could have been like late teens, early 20s. And she was the daughter who, raised here in America and speaks English very beautifully. And so she translated. She said, "Oh, this is my mom," and she uh, told her mom what I wanted done. And she seemed like a nice lady. I liked the mom, even though we couldn't, she didn't speak English, but I liked her. I liked her speak. Just I like the black Latina women. I they usually extremely nice. I like them personally. I don't mean in a sexual way, people, but I just mean I like them. They're very warm, in my opinion. And so as I was waiting to get my hair done after the mother was completing her daughter's hair, um, as I was waiting for my turn, there was a man who I guess worked there, He looked a little different. He was brown skinned, but he was like a Native American and black mix or something. But he looked different. The other lady is a dark skinned black woman and her mulatto daughter, light skinned mulatto daughter. Okay. And then he says to me in a very contemptuous way and says, "What are you doing here?" And so, and I'm looking at him like it's none of his business. I'm getting my hair done by this one. There's only one woman doing hair. It's only one lady, period, doing any hair. And she's doing her daughter's hair. She's finishing up, and this man, I guess, is one of the barbers. I wasn't talking to him. And what does he care, me being a black woman in my country, visiting my father's birthplace just a couple of blocks away? What is it his business why I'm there? But I'm an empath and I want to promote peace. And so I told him, "Oh, my father was born here and I'm just visiting." "Oh, so you just visited the old neighborhood. Oh, okay, okay." Now, but I think about it now. I I came because see my understanding as an empath, people. I hope you understand what I'm going to say. Now, my understanding as an empath, I'm a heart-centered person, and I was connecting heart to heart by visiting that neighborhood to connect. And so I didn't bring hatred with me. I brought love and I brought my money. So why was that man defensive? Why would a man be threatened by me, a woman? But either way, he showed his insecurity and contempt for me, a customer, paying customer. Why he didn't want me there? Like I'm some alien in my own country. Well, language. See, he wasn't connecting on a race level, but on a language. Oh, who knows? Maybe he was from the Dominican Republic. Who knows? But all three of us, the ladies, we're all clearly of black heritage. Why does he care? So again, it's that wedge of separation that I experienced at that moment. But yes, I tried to be positive and interject, "Oh, my father was born here and I was just visiting. Why do I have to explain myself? And why this separation? People, would it have made a difference if I spoke their language? Would it made difference? If someone is for you, why are they against? If someone's for you, why be against them? As an empath, please explain, people. When you bring your heart and you just want to share, I'm not a taker, but when you want to share in an environment and you're not going to take over someone's land and impose on them, see, but why am I feeling this in New York City? Why does New York City do this to me? Why? Why? And so, as I mentioned in the early part of this live stream, the young white guy who goes to different regions of the world and in New York City, and he learns foreign languages to converse with people. See, I used to think that maybe that's my problem. if I only spoke their language? Do you think it'll help people? Or is it something being an empath? Is it something spiritual? Is this a spiritual attack that I'm experiencing? One thing that it leaves me feeling, it makes me feel after a while angry. And so when Jennifer Lopez started speaking Spanish at the inauguration, I felt that wedge. And I started feeling like they don't really love me, that they don't really love America, and that they want to take over. That's how I feel. And no one wants their home taken over. It's a horrible feeling when you go, let's say you try foods. I used to go and try different ethnic foods. What if someone says, hey, why you want to eat that bagel? You're not Jewish? Some things could be funny, if meant in the right spirit. But I'm seeing the cattiness of some people. And it's people of color that I'm experiencing this from. But when I've gone to Chinatown, and generally, I haven't been only once. I was attacked once in Chinatown. It was a fluke experience for me. See, I used to also live downtown Manhattan before I moved to my current place. And next door, two doors down from where I lived, was a nail salon. Now, I do not know what language, I mean, I just know that they were East Asian. They could have been from China, uh, Korea, that type. And before I went, the people who I used to live with said to me, no, don't go over there. They don't like black people. And I said, no, but no, Asian people are fine. I've never had any problems with Asian people. And I just struck it as, another black person, because sometimes, I have to be honest, sometimes in ghetto neighborhoods that I witness, I hate to say it like that, but you understand what I'm saying. Sometimes in some black neighborhoods in the ghetto, they have Asian stores like Chinese or Korean stores, and the blacks there treat them badly, and vice versa, and that these Asian people might treat them badly. They both don't like each other. I mean, it's in a black neighborhood, um, but they're static. And I've witnessed that before. But I've done business with people in Asia, in like in Midtown, in where a lot of different races live, shop, and I never had any problems with them. And I just shrug off what the black girl told me about them. So I go in there, and it happened. I had my nails painted already. I did my own. I had painted my own nails early, and it was chipping and everything. Um, and so I'm getting it done professionally by them. And she's looking at me really nasty, and she's in a nasty. Oh, I bet you did your own nails. And I think I just kind of laughed. And then she nips me with her tweezers. What do you call those cuticle cutter? And she s- nipped me on purpose. I realize. I said, "Ouch!" I said, "Ouch!" Be a little bit more gentle, something like that. I said, because she just nipped me with this thing. And she looks up at me and glares at me. And then I turn around and I see the other Asian lady that's doing another customer looks and stare. It was staring at me and glaring at me. And that's when I realized she did that on purpose so that I wouldn't come by anymore. And I mean, this is just two doors from me. And and they also had they would take photographs of your hands because when I went in front to pay or something, I had to pay at one point, and I see they had a Rolodex of people's manicure jobs, and they were all light skinned hands, and my impression, and I used to be a manicurist. Okay, I used to do manicuring, I should say. I wasn't a licensed manicurist, but I was going to cosmetology school and learning the whole thing. And I had gotten a job as a manicurist and pedicurist. And so, and I have nice hands. And, um, and to take my photograph of my hands would probably give them better business. You know, not to sound arrogant, but I keep my hands very nicely. I prize my hands. So I was surprised when they didn't take a photo of my hand because when I went in front, I saw that they have a Rolodex of photographs of people of clients' hands that were done. But I saw that they were all light skinned hands and looking at them I believe that these were Hispanics, you know, from the islands like Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, but light skinned ones. These weren't Caucasian hands because the coloring on it, if you know what I mean, you know, you could see hands. Sometimes hands could have um, and ethnicity attached to it. You know, Asians in general have small hands people from up north longer hands. We have certain type of hand types. And so I realized, oh, the message disappeared, Camp. So I realized that they only wanted to take pictures of non-black people. If you weren't a Hispanic, because the neighborhood was black and Hispanic. Okay, that particular area. Yeah, because across the street were the projects, and that area is black or Hispanic. And the coloring of those hands are very pale. Um, so I gathered with that, with the demographics of the area, that they only want to do Hispanics, even though they're East Asian. And I realized what the ladies from where I lived were getting at. What I experienced was racism against me because of my race. Again, I had in the past done business with people from East Asia. I like East Asians. I did get my nails done often though, but I just wanted to treat myself out. And I was uh, surprised of the behavior of the person. So what should I have done? What did I do wrong, people, to get that? What did I do but just be me? I had love in my heart for these people. I chose to go there because I wanted my hands done. So what was really going on? Well, I'm an empath. And maybe I'm on this planet to understand the hearts of people who don't have love in it. Or maybe I'm to reach out and touch other people's hearts who are broken. See, when someone attacks you, whether verbally, physically, emotionally, just because, and not because of something that you've done, that they are insecure with themselves. They are insecure and they have a fear. So it's a really a fear-based reaction that I had. Someone who is defensive is a fearful person at that moment. That's why they're doing what they're doing. So why do I promote fear and jealousy in individuals? Why? Well, maybe it's because I'm an empath. And maybe my heart is connecting to something that they want to hide inside of them and they don't want to address it. And so when I go to different places, because I'm that little puppy that likes to venture out in my world looking for love and to give love. But what I'm getting is a sour apple. Why is this? Well, maybe because I'm an empath and people are afraid to connect. People are afraid of people whose energy is different than theirs, and maybe they feel that maybe they think I'm looking down at them. People who are maybe they wish that they had a quality that I have. Maybe they too wish they were an empath. Maybe they think I'm judging them. I am not. I am a seeker of all types. I am a seeker folk. I am someone that's visiting this world that wants to understand it and wants to connect. I'm not here to destroy, but to build up. That is my purpose, I believe, to encourage people. Have you ever encouraged somebody? One day I had encouraged somebody who was feeling really down, and I gave words of encouragement. And lo and behold, to my surprise, let me tell you what happened. There was a third person standing next to me as I was encouraging this person. And you know what they said to me in a very contemptuous way? They said, "Why do you encourage her and tell her what you want people to tell you? Why don't you just encourage yourself?" And I looked at her stunned. We were in a situation back then. We were all in a bad situation. And I just wanted to encourage. Why is that? Why would a third person, and again, I'm not even talking to them, but encouraging another person, why would a third person try to offend me trying to encourage another person? Sometimes it's not about you. Sometimes you got to sacrifice your comfort zone and say, so and so, everything's going to be all right. Don't I have a right to want what I give? If you want love, you better give it. So why was I attacked like that? Because I am an empath. And by my being empathic towards this other woman who was in distress, the other person, it might have convicted them because they didn't encourage her. She had the opportunity to be loving towards this other person, to encourage them in their sorrow, but she did not. And when I decided, even though I may not have been feeling good about myself at the time, I invested a piece of me to encourage another human being. You know something? People don't like to think that they are something other than kind. And when people see that they didn't do something that they could have done and maybe should have done, but they didn't and someone else did, they get upset. People become an empath. These days in America, where you have people who they want to receive love, they want security, but they don't want to give it. They want to present themselves and say, us and them. Why think in these terms, people, as us and them? I think we need to say we. Start being inclusive. Say we rather than us and them. And make a bridge to go on national TV and speak a language that no one would understand that was there, puts a wedge, you know? Why was that necessary? Because they might have been feeling insecure with themselves and wanted to assert what they thought was lacking. So they wanted to build themselves up, even though who was to be built up were the people who were in honor, the people who were being inaugurated. See that? We become selfish sometimes, and we want to include ourselves in something because we feel lack. We want to feel important. Well, sometimes just giving of yourself or being in the we moment is what's needed. Start thinking we and really expand your environment. That man who was learning, that white guy who promotes himself as the nerdy white guy, young white guy who knows how to speak Chinese and Korean and Mandarin and Cantonese and native African languages like Wolof. See, he's thinking we, and that he knows that if he didn't speak that language, he'd just be another white boy in America who is viewed with contempt by these people. So he goes out his way because he's an empath and doesn't even know it, and his energy is telling him, "Hey, connect with people, connect," and that's what he's doing through foreign language, through learning the different foods and eating it there. People, with all this I said and shared with you from my heart, do you think that's the answer? Do you think if I learn these different languages, do you think my outcome would be different? Let me know. This is food for thought. Living in America, living in America where people judge you by everything. They, in some areas, judge you by your race. In some areas, they judge you by your clothes, like you're in California. California is into clothes. Some areas, they judge you because your religion. What could I do living in America? I want to stay here in America. I'm born and raised here in America. What could I do as an American woman, a black woman, a mixed race woman, a slender woman, a tall woman? What could I do as this empathic spirit in me do to reach out to humanity? Because I want to serve humanity on some level. And I want to be appreciated. Yes, we all want to be appreciated. What could I do to promote we-ness? We. rather than an us and them. You know, it's also hard being a woman. Sometimes I'm in situations and I have women treating me um, like with jealousy, envy. I even had a woman approach me. I didn't know. I mean, I never spoke to them. She was a classmate. And she walks up to me, you know, and my father had just died a couple of weeks ago at that time. And I was very depressed at that time, and I had lost some weight. And she approaches me during this emotional state of mine after the death and says, well, you know, I used to sit here and watch you, and I thought you were really pretty and everything, but you know, um, I don't admire you anymore because you lost some weight and blah, 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 and walks away. Could you believe that? I've never spoken to her. I didn't know her. I knew of her. And to walk up to me, a stranger, and say that to somebody. Or you have women that fling their hair at you. Women, if any woman listening, has another woman ever done that to you? Now, I usually wear my hair. Yeah, fickle. Wow, fickle. Yeah, yeah, this happens to me. I get women. Now, I'm all about women, women's empowerment. I kid you not, I'm about women's empowerment. I get women, like, I used to live in Hawaii. And again, I'm a little taller than most people. I mean, I'm not a giant. I'm only 5'7", but some demographics are very short. Like Asians, people of Asian ancestry tend to be shorter, right? And people from, let's see, they try to skinny shame you. Yeah, this woman was a big lady. She was an obese lady. She was a white Jewish woman, and I thought she was okay. You know, I mean, I didn't know her, and I never had a conversation with her, and she just physically walks over to me, and she must have sensed I was not feeling good. I was feeling bad because my father had just died. You know, um, he was the first person in my family to die, and the stress got to me, and I did lose some weight. You know, I'm a slim person, but I on top of that lost a little weight due to the stress, and for her to say that, or like in Hawaii, you know, and I'm taller than most of people, and I'm talking to another lady, and I had my hair in a natural afro, you know, um, and I was wearing just you know in Hawaii you wear a t-shirt and shorts and flip-flops. Not I mean I had no shape, and back then I was extremely skinny, extremely. I was underweight. Yeah, very very skinny. Um, and the lady that approached me, they were average build, and they were you know considered attractive. And their behavior started to get weird, and they started flipping their hair. They had that long hair, Caucasian type hair, and they would flip it, their hair, and they'd start touching their hair, you know. And I realized that they were intimidated by my looks as a woman. I wore no name. I was a very natural. I'm a very natural woman, you know, natural, and um, my natural looks intimidated them. And they do the same thing with the flipping of the hair, but they don't do it to themselves. And I was watching how they were looking at me, and I realized. So here, people, I am an empath. I care about, you know why I care about women? Because I'm a woman. And I know what happens to women. See, I had an opportunity to go to different regions of the world. And I used to be in the military. And I see the common denominator that happens to women all over the world. Women are often victimized because they're women. And because they're women, they're given less money than men. They are not able to own certain properties. They're expected to be barefoot and pregnant. The flicker of the when they are sitting in front of them. But yeah. It's a contemptuous. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Sylvia. It is a contemptuous, and I'm not one of those. See, I wasn't raised in a culture or an environment where people are into their hair. See, I was never really into my hair. The household I was raised in were real bland. Real basic. We're not into hair. Hair is just something that's on top of your head. Okay, we're not into makeup really. We're not into really, dressing up. We dress in a casual way, but we're not into all that girly stuff. And so, but I'm seeing that, women are being taught that your value is based on your looks. And this is the enemy of women and makes women attack other women. Women are oppressed all over the world. You hear me? Women, regardless of your race, nationality, you are a woman. And the same thing happens all over the world. You can't go outside at certain times, only the men. You cannot hold certain jobs. You can only make certain amount of money. You are expected to be barefoot and pregnant. You get menstrual cramps. You get babies, right? These are things we have more things in common than different, regardless of our race. And I see this. And as an empath, people, wow, my eyes just flickered there. A flick of light just hit in my eyes. It could be the orbs. Yeah. So, as an empath, I see this. And so, as I see through my eyes, I see a sister, a sisterhood, but they do not because they're not seeing through the heart. They're seeing through isms. They see me as um, a competitor while I'm not. And so they may attack you in some way. I've had it happen even with an African lady. I went to Harlem, black and African Harlem, to do business, to buy black. And so I went and got my hair done by an African, and then I wanted to get an African outfit made by an African, a black African. And a woman does this flinging of the hair at me. And this woman was young enough to be my daughter. Yeah, I had gotten my hair done. I was turning 50. And so it was a birthday present to me to get my hair done by an African and to get an outfit by an African. And so what happened? I was indirectly attacked by this young African woman who flung her hair at me in contempt. Ladies, why do you do that? It is no different from when a black guy shoots another black guy who lives in Detroit, who lives in Chicago, who lives in New York City because it's black on black crime. You don't love yourself, and so you're killing one another. Or you're a woman and you don't love yourself. And so when you see another woman and if you feel intimidated by her, you do something against her even though she loves you. Or with language, when you walk into a room and they switch the language on you, not because it was something personal what they would talk about, but to shun you and to ostracize you, to give them a sense of power over you. That's why they did that. And they did that to me in the West Indies. Why did they do that in the West Indies, people? Why? Because I'm an empath. I am an empath. And I care about people. When I lived in the West Indies, so yeah, I lived all over this planet. When I lived in the United States Virgin Islands of St. Thomas, I came there because I wanted to be around black people and get in touch with my Caribbean heritage. I didn't tell these people who hated me my background because it's either you're going to love me or hate me. I didn't want them to love me because what I tell them. I wanted them to choose whether to love or hate me. Only some people I told my background, those people who showed me love, who were friendly. I said, oh yeah, my family's background, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, did you know in the West Indies, there's a lot of domestic violence against women? My coworker was murdered by her boyfriend by a hammer, and he hammered her to death in front of the toddler that they shared together. These people, when I walked by them, would suck their teeth at me. I had a a friend. I had made a friend there. She was born on one of the other West Indian islands. They moved to St. Thomas when she was a girl, but she had an opportunity to go to California to go to school, and then she came back to St. Thomas. So she's Americanized, because she did live in the mainland, the U.S. mainland, and we became friends from church. And I would walk with this new friend, and I noticed when I was walking with her these weird noises. And I didn't know where these weird noises was coming from. I I I said, what's going on? And I had already lived on that island for over a year and never heard these noises before. Where were these noises coming from? I couldn't figure out what it was. Well, one day I found out. Just something told me to turn my head as I was talking to my friend, my West Indian friend, and lo and behold, it was a woman. And what they do in the West Indies, and I think other parts of, people of African ancestry, they do what they call uh, sucking your teeth. like this, like that. Isn't that the expression? You suck your teeth at somebody. You know the expression, you suck your teeth at somebody? Well, that's what they were doing to me, the black women there. These were women who would be considered of the peasant class, you know, um, not really educated. A real West Indian woman, real rustic West Indian woman, darker complexion. And I had, oh, let me tell you what also preceded it. See, this West Indian friend that I had, see, I'm a natural girl, you know. I love my natural hair. I and I wanted to, and I thought other black people, I thought it would be safe to be a natural black woman in the black West Indies. And so I had cut off my perm, you know, I had a jerry curl that was growing out, and I cut it all off, and I had like an inch, you know, it was growing back. And as it, you know, because I cut it real short, like an inch in height, and then my hair started growing back fast. And I didn't want to process my hair. I wanted to be a natural black woman. I'm in a black place, the West Indies. So I wore my natural hair. And then this West Indian friend of mine uh, kept on pestering me that, oh, you know, you'll look so much better if you do this or that with your hair. So she talks me into her relaxing my hair. And I, that was the worst thing that ever happened to me. I mean, she did a good job, you know, she styled it. Now I look like a white girl to them, and I was hated on by the women. So when this girl did the hair, you know, um, the other black women uh, didn't like me, and they started sucking their teeth at me, and I didn't know what that sound was until I turned my head and I saw the woman doing that. I caught her in the act. I mean, it's almost funny when you think about it. I mean, imagine women sucking their teeth because of your hair. There was nothing wrong with that other woman's hair. She was just a black woman with black people hair. And I allowed this other West Indian woman to convince me for her to relax, chemically relax my hair. That what people, yeah, there's a spirit of jealousy in the West Indies. Everybody hates everybody in the West Indies. And but see, I'm an empath, and I came there to the West Indies to tap onto my West Indian blood, my blackness, and I sported my natural textured hair and embracing the black sisterhood, and they didn't like it. Isn't that something, people? So here, the West Indies is such a violent place against women. And when my coworker got murdered by her boyfriend, it's like, wow, it happens a lot. There's a lot of physical violence against women. And so I care about women. I was in the military, and two people that I know, I mean, that I met after military life at a counseling session for women who were violated. Two women were raped in the military. I kid you not. Rape happens to women in the military. And let me tell you this also. You won't believe this. One of those two women were raped by two people, you know, at different times. The first person that raped her was a man, and she had gotten pregnant, and the military forced her to have an abortion. And then get this, that same woman gets raped again by another woman. A woman raped her the second time in the military. I care about women. Yes. See, I experience things and people share things with me in life. I'm quiet in nature, but I'm eager to know people on a heart level. I've always been this way. Always. Yeah, I was very, very, very shy growing up. I was afraid of people. I was afraid of adults as a little girl because I used to get beaten. Okay, and my being an empath, I'm very sensitive, and so I was always eager. I wanted to come out my shell, and I wanted to explore my world. My eyes just flickered again. This light. I think the orbs are flickering around me. Yeah. So why, if I care about women and saw growing up that women are violated. I was violated growing up as a child, sexually violated. And a friend of mine had shared with me that she was violated as a child growing up, and that made her become a lesbian. That person. So I care about womanhood, but you know who hates me the most are women. You know who hates me the most also? Black women. Even though I am very pro black and that I care about us as a people. And despite the fact that I am a black woman and moved to the West Indies to live, that was the worst place for me to live. I had received so much hatred. And then coming back to New York, and now this riff and this um, language thing with people who speak Spanish versus people who don't speak Spanish. And I know this might offend some people. They don't want to see that, but it's a reality. They think that I hate them. I do not. I care. I like them. And I wanted to be around them. I love to share. I love to try different ethnic foods. I love to explore my city. This is the life of an empath, to explore and to partake in other cultures. I've always been this way. And to receive hatred, jealousy, and discrimination from these groups. Living in New York City, we have a very large Spanish speaking community. And I'm going to be real that many of them are very prejudiced. If you don't speak their language, they don't like you. They discriminate on the jobs and only have their own in certain positions, and then they exclude you. And this hurts me. I love the Hispanic culture. I like them. I think they're beautiful looking people. I like being around them. I love their passion, man. I love their passion. I don't know any group that is more passionate than the Hispanic people. They're very passionate people. They are family oriented, and And I love family. I love the concept of family. And so when I was treated that way in Washington Heights, as I mentioned earlier, to get my hair done, and that man didn't like that I was there. And when I told her, hey, I'm just visiting the old neighborhood, my father was born here from the neighborhood. It shouldn't have been. It should not have been there. Or that I was excluded, that they were excluding me because I wasn't Hispanic. And I didn't understand it because I love these people. But it came out. And then they try to cover it up. Why are you doing this? They're doing this to me because I'm an empath. And something in me spiritually, this is spiritual warfare. It's not because I'm not them. It doesn't matter if I'm Spanish speaking, French speaking, Italian speaking, Chinese speaking. It doesn't matter. I am the same person in all these different environments. I am an empath. And there's something in my soul or spirit that is in contrast to theirs. They don't want to change. They don't want to see the we in life. They want to see us and them mentality. Us and them causes a division because of fear. This is a fear based society. This is a fear based society and it has to stop. This whole year, the 2020, that whole year was a year of stress on me because of politics. We are dividing ourselves even by political party. You think it's all about political party? Or is it about intention? You could be of any political party. Political parties have been around for ages in America, and I've never been um, affected by the isms of political parties. I never got involved in politics, and I couldn't give a hoot about who's running for what. I couldn't care because it's not my bag. But now people are being divided up again now because of political party. Now, if you're friends with so and so or such and such, they are creating new divisions. We have to stop this division nonsense. Does this make sense, people? Am I making sense to you guys? If I'm making sense, please tell me so. We have to stop with the us and them. Let's start to say we. We have to say we, the collective. We are all individuals. We are all part of that diamond. Yeah. We're all part of the same diamond, but we're just different facets of the diamond, folks. I know it's taken me a long time to get to this point, but you see what I'm saying? It's always going to be something different about each other because like a diamond, it has many facets. We will always have differences, but we are still uh, energy beings. We're still spirit bodies, spirit beings. We're in this form, experiencing this world, and we have to learn about one another. I always wanted to learn about one another, to learn about what does it mean to be Hispanic and could speak Spanish? What does it mean to be a European? What does it mean to be anything? What does it mean to be a YouTuber? What does it mean? Why are we so protective over what really doesn't belong to us? Why do we divide ourselves because of what someone's hair looks like? Your hair can fall out in one day. Something as trivial as hair or skin color, it really doesn't make a difference. It really doesn't. But we make divisions because of fear. And you have things, I believe, like there was, it is believed by some circles that you have beings who feed off of negative energy. Some people might call them demons and or all these very genies, all these gargoyles. You have low energy beings that feed off of fear, that feed off of sadness, that feeds off of depression. And I think it's they that are causing us to focus on our differences, or even because of your age, the oldest and the youngest. And it's a division. And it's these beings that are could be interfering and instigating fights with one another. There's no other reason. Do you see animals getting jealous of each other because of what they look like? No. They only fight when there's a food shortage. See? It's fear based again. Fear based. Yes, this is a fear based world. And we have to stop because we're going to hurt each other. It's a control thing. And now we have a new president and vice president in our country. And we need to come together, not based on political party, because political parties' platform can change overnight. Anything can change overnight. Ideologies change over time. We have to stop this nonsense. We're killing each other. We're hurting each other. We're provoking anger when you rub things in somebody's face, like during the election. You're going to speak a foreign language. Why? At that point, because it's fear based and they wanted to assert themselves and exclude others. Or maybe they thought that, hey, they want to share something with people. Maybe they didn't speak English. But if they didn't speak any English, they wouldn't be watching the program. We have to stop trying to show off and try to be a wedge and do that deliberately in front of somebody, when you walk in a room and they switch language to make fun of you. This isn't empowerment, that's being a coward. Stop being a coward. You don't like someone, tell them in front of their face, hey, I don't like you because of this or that. And that person could actually become your best friend. There's something in them that they feared in you. And maybe me as an empath, I think that's what I am, an empath. And that I have to rise above the occasion and somehow minister to that person who is in a fear based mode, and in some way let them know that they are loved. That they are loved. Love does heal. Love can heal a broken heart. Let's start learning how to love one another, to share our love to one another, especially if you're an empath. Listener, are you an empath? Are you an empath or are you a destroyer? You have a choice today to become an empath, to reach out to those who want to bite your hand, to let you know that you come in peace. Your spirit is from another world that's taken human form on this planet and is learning and growing just like everybody else and want to share in diversity. Yeah, it's something. I live right in the middle of everything with diversity. I mean I love its diversity, but there's fear behind it too. There's so much fear here in New York City. So much drugs here in New York City. People, this is a new year. If you know people who do drugs or who does alcohol, tell them that you are loved and they need to learn to love themselves and stop abusing their body. Take a time to smile at one another, a nod of like a hello. This is the only way how we can start to cut through the animosity and hatred living in a multicultural society like New York City. We have to learn how to love one another, to extend a hand. Maybe I will go and learn those foreign languages. Like that guy that I mentioned in the beginning of this live stream, I found a YouTube channel of this white guy, and that's how he promotes himself as the dumb white guy who knows how to speak foreign languages, and it helps him learn how to be introduced to new people, to make new friends. He explores different communities and he eats their food and he goes overseas to learn these foreign languages as well and surprises these native people that, wow, you can speak my ancient native tongue. And it blew their mind. I don't remember the name of his channel. It's some um Z- Zioma NYC, something like that. Oh, you love to learn Hebrew. Yeah, yeah. You learn, I'm thinking, see, did you let me get your name again. Yes, that's so Sophia. Sophia, did you see the movie called Limitless? Yeah, a year ago this time, I saw for the first time a movie that came out of a while ago called Limitless. Limitless. It's fantastic. I mean, it was the end part of the movie that really fascinated me. At the this movie, yes, that's what I said. Limitless. Limitless, like less than. Limitless, like you have all potential. Yes, yes, please look it up. It's fantastic because it really explores what we all are facing in some form. This guy, the movie was of this white guy in New York City, and he had a girlfriend, and his girlfriend left him because he was unmotivated. He was a writer, and he had writer's block, and his girlfriend left him, and one day he's walking in the city looking really trashy. And his former brother in law sees him, and then they had a conversation, and his brother in law said, "Hey, I think I can help you. You take this pill, and it's going to change your life."
And you know it did. Well, it also almost destroyed his life, but it also was an opening. See, sometimes to open up your life, it closes initially and then it might reopen. So it's going to be resistance. That's what I'm saying. In your state of overcoming, there is opposition. So with that language school, oh wow, it's just coming to me now. With that language school that I went to, if you heard me say earlier, I had gone to a language school to learn Spanish to help me get this job. And there was resistance that occurred. But now that I think about that movie, Limitless, see, he took the pill, and the pill was the pill gave him this special um, higher IQ and the ability to learn quickly. And but it gave him, but it he had opposition because of this change, and other things. You got to see it. And so in the end, he overcame his limitations, and he no longer needed the pill anymore. And at the end of the movie, he's sitting down with his girlfriend who came, his girlfriend had come back to him, and they're at a Chinese restaurant, and his girlfriend had already ordered, and when the waiter comes, he spoke first, and he spoke in Chinese, perfect Chinese, and the waiter was a Chinese man, and he spoke back to him in Chinese. They laughed, and then he walked away, and the girlfriend looks at him stunned. Yeah, the girlfriend looked stunned at him because of the obvious. How did he learn the Chinese? Yeah, he had the ability to, because he took the pill, foreign languages instantaneously. Yeah, you know. So she didn't know that he also spoke Chinese, and that was the end of the movie. And so when I saw that movie last year, Limitless, I was so excited about the white guy, learning a foreign language, learning Chinese, and that helped bridge separation, that it brought people together. That's what it signified to me about the bringing in together differences and to promote harmony. I loved it. So I was thinking about learning the Chinese language. Well, I had to first find out if it was the Chinese language, because it could have been Korean or Filipino, Philippine, Tagalog. I didn't know what it was, but I assumed it was Chinese. And I called up two places, and the last place said yes, it's Chinese, and he was asking about certain foods and that he wanted a napkin so he won't dirty himself. Something like that. That's what the lady told me. And I was amazed. And I was thinking, hey, I want to be like that guy in the movie Limitless, and I want to expand my horizons. That's what it's all about, people. Expanding your horizons. And in the process of expanding your horizons, you will have resistance. Just like I had resistance when I went to that language school about 9 years ago. I want this separation closed up. I'm tired of separation. I hate it. I hate it because I go in relationships with my heart. And again, I was very, very shy, so I'm a little timid at times with people, but I love to talk. And I love to hear other people talk, and I like to hear their ideas. I've always been this way. I'm not into big crowds. I like intimate things. I like one on one. I love that. And so that's why I had paid for a one-on-one instructor to learn a foreign language. I re-saw that movie again just last week. I needed encouragement. And something just, something came to my memory. I said, I'm going to see that movie again. So I saw it just a couple of days ago, maybe 2, 3 days ago. Yes, Sylvia. Yes, Sophia. Yeah, it's always better one on one. And so, Sophia, you know that your name means wisdom. Sophia means wisdom. So, Sophia, I'm wondering, do you think maybe I should like that YouTuber that I just told you about that goes around the city, being the dumb white looking guy that can speak Chinese, speak Korean, and speak native African language, Wolof? I'm wondering maybe I have to do something. I have to bridge this gap. I recall you mentioned that the other week. Oh, the about the language, about the movie or the language? Which one or both? Yeah. Yeah, I'm just wondering, Sophia, what could I do to promote unity? Yeah, when oh, what's her name? When that celebrity started speaking Spanish at an American inauguration, it triggered me about my meaning wisdom. I wasn't aware of that before. Oh yeah, your name means wisdom. Sophia means wisdom. Yeah, it means wisdom, and that's always good to have. But yeah, Sophia, the wise one here. Yeah, I need to say again, I'm an empath, and I don't want my heart destroyed. I want to empower myself and to strengthen myself. I want to bring oneness. But when Jennifer Lopez did that at the inauguration, it triggered a response in me. It made me angry, and again started feeling the separations that happens here in New York City, the discrimination that I had experienced from people that speak that language. And I love the language. It's a beautiful, powerful language, and the people are beautiful. And I don't want this wedge. I didn't like when my instructor, my black Hispanic instructor, didn't didn't help me out. She didn't care that I didn't come in. She didn't ask and say to me, "Hey, student, are you okay? You had a class today, and you missed it. Hey, what happened? Are you feeling okay?" Nothing. She pretended that she did a lesson to her boss and was to discard me. And when I finally came in, see, they gave me the wrong schedule. They gave me and my instructor two different schedules. And so when I came in, I mean the days I didn't come in, she came in. And she worked there for 20 years. And she didn't call me, say, "Hey, are you okay?" But she pretended to be my friend. She called me amiga, a friend. But what she did was unfriendly. And when I finally did come in, based on the schedule that I was given, she started yelling at me and said I was playing games. Well, what do you mean? I paid her over $2,000. That's not play money. Over $2,000, people. And I felt like she'd stabbed me in the back, stabbed me in the chest. I like this woman. We had several sessions together. And then the holidays came. It was the New Year's and everything. And but they gave both of us two different schedules. And so I wasn't there when she came. And this happened several times. And she, as a black woman from Colombia, did not call me and just saw me as the Yankee lady who didn't show up, the spoiled Yankee lady who didn't show up for class. And when she saw me, she was going to walk right out. But she was stunned. She was going to walk right out. So she could say, "Oh, I came in and she wasn't there." And that's what she when I saw her. That's why she looked at me like that when she walked in the room. And then she commenced to yell at me. So now she can't leave and get free money. I paid them over $2,000. How dare she do that to me? So here it doesn't matter that, oh, a blackness, we're black women. She's from Colombia. I'm born in New York City. And she had no sisterhood for me. And the manager there sent me with her because she's a black woman and knew that I would like a black person. There's no love. There's no love that they have to people like me because they're all about, unfortunately, it's all about us and them. And I want to remove that bridge. And even when I attempted to do so, by learning the language to better me as a person, I was treated with contempt. That's what's happened. And when Jennifer Lopez did that, I felt that wall again separating, and I wanted it to stop. I just wanted to stop. I want to initiate. This is hard for me. I'm talking from my heart. I want to promote love. I want to promote understanding, not hatred. People, we all have to do this, not just one side. I cannot do this alone. See, you may be an empath too, and you don't know it. You may be an empath too, but you don't know it. I need help just like you. When you tie your shoe, you need two hands to tie your shoe, not one. When you tie your shoe, you need two hands to tie it, not one. You are the other hand that I need in life. I cannot tie my shoe with one hand. I need your help. I need your help, people. I need your help. I need two hands. I'll provide one. Please share the other hand. We can do this together. We can do this together, people. I'm tired of the us and them in New York City. And I'm sure it's like this in other big cities. And now with people fearing to lose their jobs and they need to feed their families, that they are on panic mode and they'll do anything to keep their job, even getting rid of you. That's the mindset now. Stop this foolishness. We need two hands to tie our shoelaces. We need both hands to tie our shoelaces. People, when are you going to learn? When are you going to learn? When you make a stew, you need more than just water. You need a pot. You need the salt and pepper. You need onions. We need all these different things to make the stew. And then in the end, when it's cooked, we all have a meal. We can sit down and we can all have a meal. Let's stop with the foolishness. We cannot tie our shoelaces with one hand. It's easier if you have two hands. I'm willing people to go half the way and even 80% of the way. I'm even willing to do that 80%. But you have to at least give me 20%. Is that fear, people? Is that fear? If you think that is fear, please type one for yes. If you think it's fear, that if I'm willing to go 80% of the mile, for you to go at least 20, yes. Yes, Sylvia, it is fear. Let's stop with this foolishness. I'm all for diversity. I'm always about diversity. Always. Always. I'm not after your man either. I'm a grown woman. I am not after your man. I don't believe in women who go after other people's men. I've never been about that. Never. And that's the fear that women have. That they'll be in lack because they fear that they cannot get it on their own and that they need a man to give it to them. Stop that foolishness, women. You can do it on your own. You don't need a man to give you food, shelter, or a job. You can get it on your own. You can get it on your own, women. Stop the foolishness. Stop that. And all these women who do that, if you could, like I was in the military, do you know that these men play you women? See, I was raised with men. I'm used to being around men. I see how men operate. I saw how men operate in the military. You are dispensable to them. They will have sex with anything that who is willing to have sex with them. They can eat today Chinese, they can eat Jamaican another day, they can eat French, Italian. It don't matter to them. It doesn't matter to them. I speak the truth. Can I get a hello out there? Can I get a hello out there? It doesn't matter what you do. And some women think if that they are an expert in sex. Men don't care. Men only care about getting their needs. It has nothing to do with your lack of performance. It has to do with what's in their mind, that they have a hunger that they cannot satisfy because of their perversions. They are perverting you, and they know that you need them. They feel that you need them. That's why they do what they do to you, and they make women want to fight each other. I never fought over a guy, and I never would. Exactly. Me too. Me too. I'm celibate. I'm celibate. I'm a grown woman. I'm in my 50s. I don't need the headache. I am a heart centered person. I believe in leading with my heart. I love one on one. I love talking to people. I love sharing from my heart. That's what I'm all about. Yeah, it's less stressful. Exactly. It's less stressful. But if that time comes, if I find a person that I want to uh, be physical with, so it be let it be so. But I'm not. That's not my orientation. Yes, I'm about spiritual growth because the flesh is nothing. Most of the responses that we get on our body is all biochemical. You can feel like you're in love or you're in heat 1 second and then you can have hatred the next minute. We fluctuate so quickly. But what stays is your soul. And I want to connect with other human beings' souls out there. I'm always about that. And that's what life is really about. Life is not about sex or money. Those are the illusions for survival. Yeah, money is an illusion. You don't have animals with money. They don't have money in their pocket, but money was introduced to the human race. Money was introduced to the human race. And money was created to promote need and fear in people. When you have people put in fear, you can control them. When you put people in fear, you can control them. That's what this uh, virus, this coronavirus, is all about, to create fear so you can control them. This virus, the name of this virus was created to create fear to control you. They're trying to usher in the new world order in this system that they want to create, but it's all based on fear, and they fear you, and they don't want you to know who you are. They don't want you to know who you are. They don't want you people to know who you are. Well, you might be asking, well, who am I? Who am I? Well, we are spirit beings having a human experience. We are empaths, and we come here to this awareness, and we have an experience. And some people believe that is to help humanity to overcome its limited mindset. We are special. We are multidimensional. Why do you think I share my visions with you people for the past few years? Since 2017, I've been sharing the visions, the early morning visions that I have. We are multidimensional. Our brain is a receptor, and I've been tapping into other realities during my meditation. And I'm sharing it with you, hoping that I could connect with another human being who's experiencing the same phenomenon I am experiencing. I am experiencing a phenomenon that I never knew existed. Sometimes, when in my meditation in the morning upon awakening, I see almost like a movie happening in front of my eyes with my eyes closed. Sometimes I see photo images. Sometimes I see geometric shapes. This is happening to me. I've never done drugs. I don't smoke anything. I live a very clean lifestyle. I'm a very conservative person, always been. Yeah, sometimes cut my hair short, or sometimes I grow it long. But basically, I'm a very conservative person in my nature. And basically, I'm soft spoken, but I love to be with people one on one, and I also enjoy my quiet time too. But these things I share in hopes to crack the code of ex, ex of finding out who we really are. But I gather that the system does not want us to know who we are, and they interject racism, sexism, colorism, political partyism, nationalism to divide us and have us fighting one another, which is pure foolishness. They're doing that so we fight each other, so we cannot come together and find out who we really are. See, when we are in a love-based frequency, then you're able to really come within and discover who you really are. You're not a man. You're not a woman. You're not a boy. You're not a girl. You're not a tall. You're not short. You are a living spirit. You are energy, and you have natural powers that the system does not want you to tap into. That's why the fear mongering. Yeah, that's why the fear mongering. If you're in a state of fear, you don't explore within yourself and discover who you really are. And they're going to use this new inauguration that happened yesterday as a weapon to confuse you, to deceive you first, and then they're going to do a number on us. Don't believe what you see in them. Do not believe them. Do not believe them. Use your spiritual eyes and see through them. It's not about race. It's not about nationality. It's not about color. It's not about gender, what I'm talking about. There is deception going on, and they don't want to be exposed. Yeah, I thank you. I thank you for sharing that. That the Astro Buddhist. Yeah, I thank you for that encouragement. See, I too need encouragement. I give what I want to receive. If you want to receive love, you give love. You want an apple, you give an apple. And I think that's fair. So I thank you. Hey, just I have an email, Buddha. I have an email, and it's on my about page. But I'll tell it. My contact, my email is spiritofazalea@gmail.com. Yeah, that is my thank you for that compliment, Sophia. Yeah, I wish I knew how to do the on my phone the to get in the chat room. I'm not able to do a chat on the chat room, or on the phone, on my computer. I could write in the chat room and and write, but it's on my about page. But it is Spirit of Azalea at gmail.com. Spirit, Spirit, of Azalea. A is an apple, Z is in zebra, A as in apple, L as in Larry, E as in Edward, and A as in apple at gmail.com. Spirit of Azalea at gmail.com. Yes, you have what's going on now. Yes, see, I am an empath. That's what my problem is. I am an empath, and I see with my heart. See, I've never been really focused with my looks. You notice on my videos, when I do come on, when you see my face, I'm not all dolled up. You don't see me with makeup. I don't wear, I'm not into looks. I wear very casual clothes. I mean, I like dressing up once in a while, but I find that when I dress up too much, I get the hate. So I learned early in life, if I get my hair fixed up really nice, so-called nice, I'm hated by other women and I won't be able to connect with them. That is why we have a lot of jealous, insecure women, but we have to overcome that. We are not our hair. Why are you feeling so preoccupied with your hair? Who cares what type of hair you got? Who cares? See, this is the slavery and the bondage that they taught the African American or the Black American or the West Indian person or the Latina, that our value is in our hair. No, it's not. Our value is in our spirit. How stupid it is about one's hair. Yes, your hair is an antenna. Yes, but that's about it. Your glory. See, we all have glory. Your glory is no better than mine, and my glory is not better than yours. We are all glory. We are all spirit beings. Stop with the foolishness with the hair. Your hair is just an extension. Yes. Yes, it drains us. It is draining. It is draining. And I get this from women. I like I had worked in this not um I did retail once. I used to work for a department store just for the holiday season years ago. And I was to sell makeup. And because I was Christmas help, we didn't get commission. But the people that we work next to, they get our commission. And that's what the rules were. And so I presented myself, and I had got my nails done, because I wanted, I'm gonna be displaying makeup, and you fix yourself up. And this lady, she was from Cuba, and she was so fucking stupid. Excuse my French. She was being very stupid. One thing I can't stop, what I can't tolerate are stupid women. Okay, so I'm here as a Christmas help. I'll be gone in a couple of weeks. And she's permanent staff. She's from Cuba. And she's a very light skinned Cuban lady. Attractive in her own right. But she was short, much shorter than me, kind of heavy, but still attractive. And I was there actually to help them make more money. And so I fixed myself up. I had my nails done in a very subdued color. It was they did a really nice job. It was a nice, delicate color. Nothing gaudy, but they did a fantastic job. And I may have had lip gloss on. But I'm not into heavy makeup. I wasn't like that. But I had some makeup on. I believe I had a lip gloss. And the Cuban lady is getting not realize, not see she didn't wasn't in awareness because of her fear towards me, or jealousy, whatever you want to call it. And she says, "Oh, well, you're not supposed to have that color nail polish. You have two colors on, and blah 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 blah." Uh, but she doesn't realize if I look good, she gets money. I don't get the money. She does. And it was again, a very modest, very subdued color. But she wants to fuck around, okay? When I get angry, sometimes I do use profanity. So please forgive me. And then she says, "You know what else? You're not supposed to put a lip line on you." And then she looks closer even more and realizing it's my natural lip line. She says, "Oh, oh, 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 okay. Oh, okay. See, that's a dumbass woman. That is a dumb woman. She's preoccupied with my looks. I have a natural lip line, like many women. And I just had a subdued lip gloss. And I have a natural lip line, but she wants to criticize that I not supposed to have a lip line pencil on. But of course, she can have a lip line pencil, but not me as a so-called black woman. And she did that to me, and she looks stupid. People, if someone answer me here. Now, if I am coming to help you make money and present myself in order for you and the store to make money, would you criticize that woman who is there to help you? I don't get any of the money. Someone answer me. Someone answer me. Would you attack another person who is there to help you make money and I'm not getting the money? Well, that's what happened. But see, she being a dumb West Indian woman from Cuba, she's a dumb West Indian woman from Cuba who wants to criticize another woman of color of Caribbean ancestry, because my grandparents are from the Caribbean, but not from her island. But see, I'm a darker woman than she, but she wants to see again the racism or the colorism that happens in the West Indies and in America. And if you're not from their island, or if you don't speak their language, or if they don't perceive you as being from their group, they want to attack you verbally sometimes, and sometimes physical too. They get physical, some women. And so she goes out her way to criticize what my hands look like. And I love my hands. See, I don't need nail polish to have nice hands. I was taught early in life to keep my hands good. So I prize my hands and it being clean and always well shaped, whether long or short. And at that time, I just treated myself out that day, around that time, and just got my hands done. I'm not I don't do my nails at that time. When I was a teenager, I used to paint my nails, but but as I got older, I stopped doing it for years. So here, this dumb woman from Cuba is going to criticize another darker skinned woman about her nails that look fantastic, so that I could present the makeups to the clients, to make suggestions to the client. And then just a simple lip gloss, but she's going to criticize my natural lip line that God gave me, and she's going to criticize God. See how fucking stupid that is, people. See, I get angry and have no tolerance for stupid women out there. My language does change when I'm around severe stupidity. You're a guest in my country, and you're from a communist country. And when you go to Cuba today, I've never been to Cuba, but I've met people who I heard of people over YouTube who visited Cuba. Do you know they're in utmost poverty over in Cuba? And when you go on vacation, or those people who have permission to go on vacation or whatever trip to Cuba, they beg you for soap, for toilet paper, and other toiletries because they cannot provide it for themselves. They said, "Don't give us a tip. Buy us the toiletries. We need it." Okay. She forgets where she comes from, and she needs to humble herself and and use her mind to get out of poverty. You're going to destroy a person who's there to make you money? What a fucking asshole she is. See, that's why a lot of us are in poverty, because we're fucking stupid. We're willing to attack another person because of our own insecurities, and we think we're being positive, powerful by doing this stupidity. What that coworker did to me was stupido. The things that I saw on that job that was utmost stupid. And there were other people from the Caribbean that did just as stupid old things. It was unbelievable. People who are from other countries, they're not born here, and they lack the maturity. They bite the hand that feeds them. That's what's being done because of fear. Fear pollutes the soul. Fear pollutes the soul, and that's what's happening all over the world. We're being in a fear based mode because we fear that we're not going to get. And so some people fear more than others, and they're willing to do anything to get at you. Some people lie, some people steal, and some people kill in order to survive. Let's get out of that mode of thinking. This is in the time to expand your mind. I want to expand my mind. I think that's why I'm doing this live stream, because I want to expand my mind and pull myself out of the pit of despair. Because yesterday I was in despair. I'm being honest. I was in despair yesterday with this inauguration and got triggered when um, Jennifer Lopez started speaking. First, she's speaking in English, and then she says something real brief in Spanish. And it triggered me because I felt it was bridging a wall between the American people. She didn't need to do that. If she were in, let's say, a music award, let's say the Latin American Music Awards, I would say that would have been very appropriate. But I felt what she did was not appropriate, and I felt it was to show off the us and them, and I didn't like that. Yeah, let me read your last comment. Okay. Always a joy listening to your soothing voice. Much love to all. P.S. Olive leaf extract slows down the proliferation of the flu and cold viruses. Increased dosage if you are sick 3 times a day. No fear. Yes. Oh, wow, I never heard of it. Olive leaf extract. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Michael. Mitchell. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I know I'm saying a lot. I'm saying a lot out here. I just want us all to achieve. That's all that I want. I realized when I came on, I didn't know exactly how I was going to do this live stream. I don't speak with a script. I don't have a script. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I wasn't feeling well, not because of my health. I wasn't feeling well yesterday because of people's behavior. That's what was happening yesterday. Yeah, that's what was happening. Yeah, but thank you for sharing, though. Yeah, see, I didn't know how I wanted to really do this talk, but I felt it was necessary because I needed to feel better. I want to I want to cut through this. It's a burden. This is a burden, and I want to break through. See, everything, this is all fear based. I want to live in love. I want to live in forgiveness. I want to live in empowerment. Yes, okay, yes, this doesn't help that Biden is saying that we need to line up with the immigrants. Yeah, see, nothing wrong with immigrants, but something is wrong when immigrants are being used as a tool because of their cheap labor and then they fire you. See, that has happened to me too. That has happened to me in Hawaii. That they got the illegal. Did you know in Hawaii there are more illegal aliens than they are black people that live there? And they had decided to keep the illegals at that job, or new arrivals from this particular country, and fire me and the other American girl to save money. See, it's all about saving money. And so they're throwing the Americans under the bus. That's why President Donald J. Trump said America first. America first. He wasn't trying to be a racist. He, being a real estate agent, real estate mogul, knows all knows all what's going on with immigration because he rents to all types of people. He sees um, the demographics of an area. He knows that. And so what's happening in America is that they're selling out America to the highest bidder and encouraging labor force from parts of the world where you can give them pennies, and then they fire the Americans. I was not by fired, laid off, so that they can keep those other people. That's what happened to me in Hawaii. Yes, that's what I see what's happening. And these newcomers do not hire people like me. I'm being honest. Yet I go. I used to go in their area, eat some of their foods. So I feel like I was stabbed in the back. I don't care where somebody's from. I care what people do to me. I don't care what your race is. I care about what you do to me. And that is what's happening. That they're using immigration to destabilize the country of my birth and to kick out the American blacks. The American blacks are targeted first with immigration because they get the entry level jobs that you would have gotten. That's what my concern was. And so when Jennifer Lopez said that, and knowing about, did you hear about the caravan? This is not about hatred. Okay, I already explained my background and willingness to go even 80% of the way. When, oh, what was I going to say that? See, it's about when, about there's another caravan coming. See, it was before I saw the inauguration. Uh, I saw something that week about another caravan fighting their way out of Central America. Did you see that video? It was a several thousand people. And then you had the police, yes, Honduras. And they were fighting the border police of that country. And they were stampeding each other. This is not at the American border. This is down there in Honduras. They are on their way to America, the United States of America. And they heard about that Biden uh, won the presidency, and they also know about the sanctuary. You heard about the sanctuary zones. There are sanctuary zones that was established in Cal. They were doing this in California, and they're going to be, yes, sanctuary. Um, the sanctuary cities. Sanctuary city, that's the word. Sanctuary cities are going to be reestablished in the United States of America to harbor criminals from other countries. You could be from any country, and you can go to these sanctuary cities and stay there and apply for aid that we have to finance. That's what's happening. And so they're coming. And they're also using these people for the election. That's also what happened in the 2020 election. They got all these people. There are a lot of illegal immigrants in this country. And they know that usually how certain demographics vote. And so they encourage their migration, immigration here in the United States, and then they mailed out ballots, empty ballots to these demographic areas so that they will vote and try to win the election. And that's what happened. So I feel by that these people from other countries have more rights than I do. And I get scared. When Jennifer Lopez did that, I started looking at those caravans. I started thinking those caravans are coming over. And that she's signaling to the Spanish speaking world to come over. That it's safe haven now because Biden and Harris are in office, and to come in your caravan in America and take over. And that's what triggered me yesterday. Triggered me all day, and other things too that triggered me. Yes. Yeah, and then they further dilute our like a vote with anchor babies. The illegal parent has an American citizen while on our soil. Yes, 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 and they further dilute our val. Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's not about hating. I don't hate them, but I hate what's being done by them. And I thought growing up, as I shared, it didn't matter that I wanted to learn their language. It didn't matter that I was happy to work with them. It didn't matter to that Cuban lady and my helping her make money. What she saw was I was just that Yankee who's black and they want my job. They don't want me there. Do you know how it feels to be thrown out of something and you're the only American, one of the few Americans, and they gang up on you and they get you kicked out? It's a horrible feeling. A horrible. I said, why is this? I'm treated better than white. I'm treated better by white people than people of color. And yes, I have been discriminated by white people and Jewish people. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. But the real hatred that I'm getting are from people of color who I love. And that's what's hurting me. That's what's breaking my heart these days. And women. I care about women because I'm a woman. And I see all the dirty things that happen to women out there. So it seems like the people that I love the most hate me the most. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, yeah, you said about vote. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter, Michael, about voting. My vote didn't count this time. My vote in 2020 did not count. It didn't count. Okay, and here's the other part, and I got to go. My mother is Cherokee, my father is Blackfoot and Quechua, and are people that have been in the Americas from the beginning when it was called Turtle Island. Very interesting. Yeah, yeah, we're native on the planet. We're native on the planet, but I could imagine in perspective, Stolzworth, that to have indigenous connections to North America and be treated like a second class citizen. See, one minute, you might have thought that you're one with everybody, and then it's slowly. And you don't know you can be a Native American and you be disliked by those people coming from those caravans from Central America, right? Just like you have people in Central America who are black, there's Central Americans who are Indian. And they may not like you because you're a Yankee. You hear what I'm saying, Stolzberg? It doesn't matter. Just like it doesn't matter to some people that we're both women. And this is what's tearing us apart. But I thank you for sharing that because it is a perspective. Because again, if you're not indigenous to this region of the world, we're all immigrants. But I was born and raised here, and my orientation is here. I grew up not knowing what my heritage was. I was just a person living in New York and trying to find my way in this diverse uh, culture that I live in. Yeah. Yeah, we have to come together somehow. We have to somehow make a bridge because with this new administration, if you disagree with this new administration, like in 2020, they're going to get Antifa on you. They're going to get the Black Lives Matter organization, BLM, against you. They're going to do the fires. They're going to be harassing people. That is what's happening, and that is the truth. We have to stop the physical violence. We have to stop being jealous of each other. We're people of color. We could be white people also, but we're becoming victims, all of us. We have to stop this nonsense, this jealousy, this hatred that can happen to anyone, including myself. I'm no different than you. But I'm seeing another part of me that I am an empath. I'm seeing another dimension. And I know that life is more than all that we see, all that we hear and feel. We are multidimensional beings. And we're being distracted by isms so that we cannot discover who we are and how to navigate in our true power. Yes, maybe I might just like that man that I mentioned, that YouTuber whose shtick is being the dumb white guy who can speak all these exotic languages. Yeah, he has over 3 million subscribers, and his videos could have, like, the video, some of the videos I watched on his channel, 24 million views. You heard me right. Some of them was over 24 million views. This man is onto something. Maybe my approach is re-engage to re-engage in learning about others, about maybe learning their language and culture and food, and to force myself into their neighborhoods carefully and learn to have a dialogue with them. Learn to speak the language. Learn about their foods. It's going to really shock them. This young white dude, is baffling these Chinese people and these Korean people because how many white people are there in their country? Not that many. And here he's an American fellow, young white American fellow who can speak these languages, and he can even speak an African language. Wolof. He was speaking Wolof to them also in Harlem on 116th Street, where there's a lot of Senegalese. They speak French and they also speak their native tongue, African language. So that man really encouraged me. That multilingual fellow. Maybe I need to maybe Try again and learn a foreign language and go out in those neighborhoods and make an effort to connect with others. I don't want to hate anybody. I don't want to hate Jennifer Lopez. I don't want to hate any migrant worker. I don't want to hate any American. I don't want to hate any white person, any brown person, any Indian person. I want to love all people. I want to have a fantastic time while I live on this planet, in this existence, and in this dimension. I think maybe that's what my homework assignment should be. What do you think, people? Write it down below in the chat room when you get a chance. Let me know what you think I should do to try to bridge this animosity that's being created and being created in me. I want to live in peace, not anxiety. I don't want to experience what I experienced last night. I still feel some of the residual anxiety in the center of my chest. I want to be a happy person. I want to live in joy and peace. And if you have an idea, yeah, you can share it down below. Yes. And if you like this channel, and if you want to support me, you can do so by clicking on my PayPal me account on my channel. Yes, just go to my channel, Spirit Journey, and on the banner on the top right side, you're going to see my PayPal me link. Just click on the link, follow the prompt. Any amount would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, if I decide to go to this language school and learn about different cultures, then hey, I'm gonna need money to do this. Yeah, we can do this together. We can overcome prejudices that we may have and uh, learn to ascend to higher levels of love. That is my goal. Okay, don't let things and materialism uh, define you, but you define it. Okay? Yeah. Don't let money define you. You define it. You define yourself. All these other things are just tools, but the real you is your spirit that is seeking to explore and to learn and enjoy. Yeah. Yeah, amen. Yeah. So it should definitely sound like a good plan regarding language. But yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just do that. Yeah, I don't want to be intimidated by anyone speaking any language. And those people who don't like me and they do that thing when they switch their language when I'm around them and fling their hair, maybe I'll learn their language and surprise them and teach them things they didn't even know about their old culture. Yeah, and dazzle them. Yeah. And the whole point is to bring things together, not to cause division. Yeah, so I was, boy, talking for a long time here. Yeah, 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 I want to have fun in life. I wasn't having fun yesterday. I want to have fun. Don't you people? Don't you want to have fun out there? Or you want to be a sourpuss how I was yesterday because of the inauguration and other things that were going on in my life? I'm sick of it. I need a change. I need a change because this thing could kill you. Pain and suffering and anger could kill you. Yes. Yes, I want it every day. I want joy every day. I want to enjoy my little babies here, my little doggies, and enjoy life. So, with that last note, I want to thank you all for your words and things that you shared with me. And again, this is a journey. I have not arrived yet. This is my journey, and yes, I'm sharing it with you. And one day I may arrive, okay? Yes, thank you so much for this conversation with you. Peace, love, and joy. And until next time soon, I thank you.